For the third time, the path narrowed, this time by a wall of stone on either side, forcing the man and his mount into a cramped space. For the third time, the donkey stopped dead, flattening herself against the stone. Balaam, impatient and still blind to the drama unfolding just beyond his sight, struck her with his staff, his mind already calculating the weight of Balak's reward. Then his eyes were opened. Standing in the narrow path, terrifyingly close, was the angel of the Lord, sword drawn, its blade reflecting a cold, final light. The angel spoke, his voice low but cutting to the core of Balaam's soul. "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? I have come out to withstand you, because your way is perverse before me." Balaam fell forward, his face touching the dusty ground, overwhelmed by the presence and the guilt. "I have sinned," he whispered, "for I did not know that you stood in the road against me. Now therefore, if it displeases you, I will turn back." He was terrified, yet still offering a bargain, a last chance to retreat with his wealth and reputation intact. The angel relented, but maintained the tightest of reins. "Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you, that you shall speak." Permission granted, the journey resumed, now heavier, with the knowledge of the invisible sword held over his head. The greedy prophet was now a terrified messenger, his free will shackled to the divine decree. When Balak heard that Balaam was near, the king himself rode out to meet him at the border city, a public show of respect for the prophet he had purchased. "Why did you not come to me at first?" Balak challenged, his voice cold with impatience. "Am I not able to honor you lavishly?" Balaam, remembering the sword in the path, could only bow his head. "Look, I have come to you. But now, have I any power at all to say anything? The word that God puts in my mouth, that I must speak." The words were an honest confession of his powerlessness, a warning Balak either did not understand or chose to ignore. Balak brought Balaam into Kirjath-Huzoth, the city of streets, and prepared a great feast, slaughtering oxen and sheep. But the celebration was an anxious one, the food secondary to the spiritual ritual required. The king was desperate to cement the alliance and secure the promised curse before dawn. The next morning, Balak took Balaam to the high places of Baal, from which the prophet could look down upon the furthest encampment of the Israelite tribes. It was a strategic, elevated view designed to fan the flames of Balak's fear and hatred, and to give Balaam the proper perspective for his work. On this sacred hilltop, the king demanded the inaugural ritual, 7 altars built, and a sacrifice of 7 bulls and 7 rams. It was a staggering expense, a desperate attempt to buy divine favor and unleash the spiritual weapon he believed he had hired. Balak, his whole kingdom's fate hanging in the balance, whispered his expectation to the prophet. Balaam, however, had already felt the shift, the cold hand of the angel's mandate, replacing the warm grip of his own greed. He knew that the powerful words he was about to speak would not be his own, and they would certainly not be a curse.